Hey guys, today is Christmas and I hope all of you are having a wonderful holiday. I'd like to tell you a true story about Christmas that actually happened to me Christmas Eve 1993. In 1993, I was an art student living in Stockholm, and I just spent Christmas Eve with my parents and was relaxing in their living room. Even though the clock was nearing midnight, I still had a good deed to do. A good friend of mine stood post outside the royal castle in Stockholm, and I wanted to go visit him and tell him Merry Christmas. So I put on my clothes and went out into the dark, silent winter night. And the cold Christmas night, the streets were empty. I was walking alone through the silence of the night, thinking to myself, surely nothing bad could ever happen to you on Christmas Eve. As I rounded the corner out of nowhere, this creepy guy suddenly walked right up to me.
Hey, can you spare a little money? I missed a train and I'm trying to get home to the family. I'm just trying to get enough money to get a taxi, but I lost my wallet.
I remember thinking the guy was probably a drug addict. But then I thought, what does it matter? Maybe he was telling the truth. Or maybe all he wanted was something to make the night less cold and lonely. Either way, it was Christmas, and I should help him if I could. So I gave him all the money I had on me. It wasn't much, but it was all I had. I walked on into the night toward the castle. The streets were totally empty. I was all alone in the dark city. Then suddenly, in the silent night, I heard a strange sound. It was the rustle of dry leaves on the ground, but it was in the middle of winter and there was no leaves to be seen. The wind was blowing something down the street, straight at my feet. It was a wad of crumpled banknotes. I picked them up. I looked around me. Was I on candid camera? Did Santa exist? I looked around, but no game show host jumped out of any corner. I was still alone. So I kept walking to the castle, and my friend standing guard there. I asked my buddy if he needed any money, but all he wanted was to bum a smoke. So I started walking toward the bus station on the other side of town. Walking home, I looked everywhere for someone, anyone, to give the money to. And it occurred to me, I no longer felt nervous walking through the dark city when I was looking for people to help. It felt really good walking there, alone. When I got to the bus stop, I found a bunch of freezing people looking very, very unhappy. Turns out The bus didn't go on Christmas Eve. I and the rest of the people there did not know that. But the money I'd found was enough to get a cab for all of us. In the cab ride home, the 5 of us talked like old friends, and the money I'd found was just enough to see all of us home safe. So that is my true Christmas story. I guess the moral of the story is that walking alone through a dark night does not have to be scary if you're looking for someone to help. So with that, I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas.